Let's go back to 2009, a time when Bitcoin was just an idea whispered among a handful of tech enthusiasts. Back then, it wasn't worth much more than a few pennies. It wasn't shiny gold coins or stacks of cash. It was just numbers on a computer screen, a revolutionary concept that most people laughed at. But what if, back then, you decided to take a chance and invest? What if you saw what others couldn't? Picture this. You're sitting at your desk in 2009, scrolling through forums, and you stumble across this new thing called Bitcoin. It's being talked about by a bunch of cryptography nerds. They're calling it the future of money, decentralized, untouchable by banks or governments. But who would thought, right? It sounded ridiculous. Yet, let's say you were curious. You took a leap of faith and bought 10,000 Bitcoins for just $50. That's it, 50 bucks. The cost of a dinner for two at a modest restaurant. Fast forward a year, and not much has changed. Bitcoin is still worth peanuts. You probably would have forgotten about it, dismissed it as just another fad. Maybe you kept that wallet tucked away on your old laptop. But here's where the magic begins. In 2010, Bitcoin hit its first milestone. It was used to buy 2 pizzas for 10,000 coins. That's your 10,000 Bitcoins, 2 pizzas, nothing more. You might laugh thinking, well, that was a waste. But wait. By 2011, Bitcoin's value started to grow. A single Bitcoin was worth $1. $1. Your $50 investment was now worth $10,000. Imagine seeing that number and realizing it was just the beginning. You'd hold on, right? You'd watch as the years rolled by and Bitcoin soared. 2013 comes along and suddenly Bitcoin is worth over $200. That same $50 investment, it's now over $2 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2 million. But here's the thing about Bitcoin. It's not a straight ride up. It's a roller coaster. After reaching $1,000 in 2013, it crashed to under $300 by 2015. If you were still holding on, you might felt panicked, doubting your decision. Maybe you'd think of cashing out, but if you didn't, if you stuck with it, the rewards would have been unimaginable. Because by 2017, Bitcoin was making headlines. $20,000 per coin. Let that sink in. Your 10,000 Bitcoins, they were now worth $200 million. Did you feel that? The rush of realizing what patience and risk taking could have brought you? By 2020, one Bitcoin hit an all-time high of nearly $69,000. That $50 you spent in 2009 would turned into $690 million. That's wealth on a scale most people can't even dream of. But it's not just about the money. It's about being part of something groundbreaking. A revolution that changed the way we think about money, technology, and even power. Let's dive into the what if for a moment. If you had that kind of money, what would you do? Would you buy your dream mansion, travel the world, or invest in other groundbreaking technologies? Or maybe you'd become a philanthropist, changing lives with your newfound fortune. The possibilities are endless, right? But it all started with a $50 gamble on an idea that most people ignored. Imagine the impact of having such wealth. You could influence industries, fund startups, and even create generational wealth. Maybe you'd build schools, invest in clean energy, or tackle global challenges. The kind of freedom that comes with that money isn't just about luxury. It's about the power to shape the future. But let's be real. Bitcoin's journey wasn't easy. It faced massive skepticism, regulatory threats, and market crashes. Some people lost faith, sold too early, or never believed in it in the first place. Yet those who stayed the course, who saw the bigger picture, became legends in the world of finance and technology. Think about the stories that emerged. There's the guy who bought a Lamborghini with Bitcoin in 2013, only to realize years later that the same amount could have bought him a fleet of luxury cars. Or the infamous case of someone throwing away a hard drive with thousands of bitcoins on it, now worth hundreds of millions. These tales are both inspiring and heartbreaking, showing the wild unpredictability of investing in something so new and unpredictability of unproven. And what about you? If you're hearing this and feeling that twinge of regret, don't worry. It's not about the past. It's about what you do next. Bitcoin might have been the first big wave, but it's not the last. There are always opportunities, new technologies, groundbreaking ideas, and hidden gems waiting to be discovered. The key is staying curious, staying informed, and being willing to take calculated risks. Now, let's shift gears for a second. What made Bitcoin so revolutionary? It wasn't just the price or the hype. It was the concept, decentralization, a world where money isn't controlled by banks or governments, but by the people. It challenged the status quo, sparked debates, and paved the way for an entirely new industry, blockchain technology. Today, blockchain is used for everything, from secure voting systems to tracking supply chains. And it all started with Bitcoin. Looking back, it's easy to see why Bitcoin succeeded. It arrived at a time when trust in traditional systems was at an all-time low. The 2008 financial crisis had shaken the world, and people were desperate for alternatives. Bitcoin offered hope, a way to take control of your own money without relying on institutions that had failed so many. But here's the kicker. Even with all its success, Bitcoin isn't perfect. It's been criticized for its environmental impact, its volatility, and its use in illegal activities. Yet, despite these challenges, it's still standing. It's still growing. And it's still inspiring millions to dream bigger. So, where does that leave us now? Bitcoin's story isn't over. Far from it. Whether it continues to rise or eventually falls, its legacy is secure. It's the spark that ignited a global movement, the first domino in a chain reaction that's still unfolding. And if you're paying attention, you'll see that the world of cryptocurrency and blockchain is full of potential. Let's circle back to you. If you had the chance to go back to 2009, knowing what you know now, would you invest? Would you risk $50 on something so uncertain? And more importantly, would you have the patience to hold on through the ups and downs, the crashes and the rallies? It's a tough question, isn't it? Because hindsight is 20/20. It's easy to say yes now, but back then it would have taken real courage. Courage to believe in something most people dismissed. Courage to stick with it when times got tough. And courage to dream big when the world told you to stay small. But here's the exciting part. The future is full of opportunities just like Bitcoin. They're out there waiting for someone bold enough to believe. So, the real question isn't about 2009. It's about today. What are you willing to take a chance on? What ideas, technologies, or movements will you bet on? Because one day, people might look back and ask, what if you invested in that? The truth is, opportunities like Bitcoin don't come around often. But when they do, they're not obvious. They're hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone bold enough to believe. So here's the real question. Are you ready to spot the next big thing? Remember, it's not just about making money. It's about being part of something bigger, something that changes the world. Bitcoin wasn't just an investment. It was a revolution, and revolutions don't happen every day. So what's next for you? Will you take the leap? Will you explore new ideas, dive into new industries, and chase the future with everything you've got? The choice is yours. But whatever you do, don't let fear hold you back, because the greatest rewards come to those who dare to dream. Hit that subscribe button and like this video.